My PowerPoint on the AIDS epidemic by Alice Pooley. When? On a bright day of June, the CDC reported unusual clusters of PCP. This occurred on the day of June 5th in 1981. From then, it kicked off, murdering millions and millions of gay people and straight people, unlike the early 1990s, though it mostly affected gay men. Why and how? It happened because it was finally okay to have relations with a person of the same sex. The problem that occurred was that they were having unprotected sex, and soon enough, people began getting HIV that escalated to AIDS. Though gay men were the most affected, it led people thinking that gay people were the problem. Of course. Who were affected? The people that were particularly affected were gay men, though straight people weren't spared. First, people believed to have gotten the actual HIV virus were some people who were African hunters, and they ate chimpanzees infected with an HIV virus. It was a kind of simian flu type thing. Where? Well, after it left Africa through sex slave trading, it got to the US, and there it kind of spread like wildfire when it got to San Francisco. And it infected and killed hundreds. Most of them were homosexual men. Then it began to spread everywhere in the US. It was assumed that it came from Haiti in the Caribbean and eventually to San Francisco. What? The human immunodeficiency virus is a virus spread through unprotected sexual contact or sharing needles, or just any type of blood. What happened was the HIV spread through a bunch of people and began to kill a lot of people. In the end, about 35 million people succumbed to AIDS and 7 million people were infected. Sadly, this led to many people blaming the LGBT community for AIDS. My thoughts on this is that I personally believe that this was a terrible epidemic that could have been handled way better than it was. I say, rather than setting gay rights back several decades to like the 1950s, you could have just focused on the research why this can't happen again. The AIDS epidemic infected more than 7 million people, so they had to suffer through that. That's already bad, but not only that, but out of those 70 million people that were killed, 35 million of those people died. And it led to a lot of prejudice and hate towards gay men, as well as other people part of the LGBT community, because no one was spared that. Now for the part where I make a parody of a song. Space Shuttle Challenger, US bombs Libya, President Reagan, superpowers showing off, Persian Gulf War, we signed Star One Treaty, police officers beating black motorists. Bill Clinton, Sudan, Afghanistan, NATO wages air campaign against Yugoslavia, Twin Towers, Space Shuttle, Colombia, Donald Trump, COVID-19. At the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. No, we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it.